It started on a quiet Tuesday morning in late October. The kind of morning where the city seemed to hold its breath, and even the hum of traffic felt distant. Simon Hart, a 32-year-old IT technician, was sipping his coffee in the dim glow of the server room when an alert popped up on his screen. A storage anomaly. Most technicians would have shrugged it off. Routine maintenance. Old footage being overwritten. But Simon's curiosity was insistent. The building was nothing special. A nondescript office complex between a parking garage and a laundromat. Its tenants were small businesses, lawyers, insurance brokers, a travel agency. The security cameras had long outlived their thrill. They recorded the mundane: janitors emptying trash cans, office workers fumbling with coffee machines, the occasional delivery driver. Yet when Simon dug into the flagged archive, what he found didn't make sense. The footage wasn't missing, it had been deleted and somehow recovered. That alone wasn't unusual, except that it depicted things that had never happened. At first, it was subtle. A man standing in the hallway where no one should have been. A door leading to a storage room opening by itself. Simon blinked. Maybe a glitch. A corrupted timestamp. But then he noticed the date, yesterday. And that man, he didn't exist. Not in any employee roster, not in any visitor log. The next clip froze Simon in place. A woman appeared in the conference room, pacing, her face hidden behind a scarf, muttering something he couldn't hear. The impossible part, the room had been locked all day. The receptionist confirmed it. No one had been in there. Yet the footage clearly showed her, moving in ways that felt rehearsed, deliberate, unnatural. Over the next week, Simon became obsessed. Every night he snuck into the office after hours, dragging his laptop behind him, watching the recovered footage over and over. People crossing hallways at times they shouldn't have been. Doors opening into rooms that didn't exist. Shadows flickering at the edge of the frame. Shapes too indistinct to name, but undeniably human. He started keeping notes, documenting the anomalies. He compared the recovered footage to access logs. Nothing matched. Not a single timestamp aligned. The footage showed interactions between people who, according to every record, had never set foot in the building. Even more disturbing, some clips included Simon himself, not the Simon at his desk drinking coffee, but another Simon, watching, moving, sometimes staring directly into the camera. Sleep became impossible. He would wake in the middle of the night, convinced he'd glimpsed the same figures from the footage standing over his bed. He tried to tell himself it was stress, exhaustion, paranoia. The fear gnawed at him like an animal behind his ribs, insistent, patient. Simon took a technical approach. If this was a glitch, he could trace it. He pored over server logs, network records, even the camera's firmware. Everything checked out. The hardware was standard, the software unmodified. No one could have tampered with the archive without leaving a trace. Yet the footage persisted. Always new. Always impossible. Then one night, Simon found a hidden folder he had never seen before. Deep in the system, labeled only archive_deep_001. It wasn't accessible through normal methods. He had to run a custom script just to open it. When he did, he realized the scope of what he was looking at. The folder contained footage not just from his building, but from dozens of other buildings across the city, offices, apartment complexes, even construction sites. Footage from months ago, years even, some of which he remembered vividly as having never happened. There were fires that never occurred. Accidents with no official record. Faces of people alive and well, or supposed to be. And then, most disturbing, there were clips of tragedies he did remember, but they were slightly wrong. Different angles. Different timing. Small, impossible changes. It was a parallel version of reality, recorded by someone, or something, watching closely. Simon's isolation worsened. He stopped leaving his apartment except to retrieve coffee or check the server remotely. And then one night, he found himself not at work, not in his apartment, but in a dark alley in the footage. Rain poured down. He was walking, but toward something that never happened. A shadow moved behind him, taller than any human should be. And then the feed cut to static. His hands shook. He closed the laptop, but the screen flickered back to life. A message typed across the black static, "We see you." Weeks passed. Simon stopped responding to friends. His phone went unanswered. Then, one morning, he didn't show up for work. Security checked the cameras. Footage showed him leaving his apartment, walking toward the office, but then, he vanished. No reflection in the glass, no shadow on the pavement. Just gone. The police never found him. No one did. But in the deep archive, the videos continued. A new folder appeared, with a single file titled, Simon_Hart. When the file was opened, the screen was black. But the sound, his own voice whispering, "You're next." Reality had stopped being certain for anyone who looked too closely. Somewhere, in some corner of the city, the archive waited. Recording. Watching. Waiting for the next curious pair of eyes to stumble upon it. Some things, once seen, can never be unseen.